Welcome into the breakdown. Phil Perry here, Ted Johnson there. Ted, let's talk about a little thing called hope. Okay, we talk about playoff hopes, and the Patriots kept their playoff hopes alive by beating the Dolphins on Sunday. But mathematical hopes and actual hopes are two different things. Did anything that you saw yesterday give you hope for this Patriots team moving forward?
You know, like my man Andy Dufresne said in Shawshank Redemption, hope is a good thing, maybe the best of things, and there are some good things that you can take away, hopeful things to take away from this game. I thought Tyquan Thornton did excellent in this game, for a guy that hasn't done much this season. And I thought the offense did some things to stress out the defense in particular more than they've been doing previously. And then I think Christian Barmore and Jabril Peppers showed up in this game and made more big plays on defense. So there's a lot of things to be hopeful going into this last game. I know it hasn't been great altogether, but going into this game, these players are feeling hopeful.
There you go. Ted Johnson striking an optimistic tone as we get into our breakdown episode here tonight. Lots to talk about, some hope on both sides of the ball. The biggest play of the game, obviously, coming for the Patriots on the defensive side of things, as is often the case. Kyle Duggar had a 39-yard pick six late in the third quarter to turn a 4-point deficit into a 2-point lead. It was Duggar's third defensive TD of the season. It set a Patriots franchise record as the 7th defensive score of the year, including one in each of the last 4 games, if you could believe it. Defensive captain Devin McCourty, what's the secret?
We talked last night about, scoring on defense. It's something we've done now 4 weeks in a row, and it's something that's given us a great boost as a team. So, as soon as Doug caught it, I think if you watch the film, you probably see everybody trying to get a block. And you can see Doug knowing, I'm not going out of bounds. I'm finding a way to the end zone. And
just cover 2 dropping as the middle player. Got to my drop, saw my threat was eliminated, so I was able to get my eyes back to the quarterback and get around to the backside vertical. So, and then once I got the hand in my hands on the ball, and I know I needed to score.
Time now for Board Games, brought to you by John Sewer Drain Cleaning. The name to know when the drains don't flow. Kyle Duggar there, sounding like a football-playing Terminator. Ted, sent from the future. The threat was eliminated. Seek out the football, destroy anyone in my path on the way to a game-changing pick six in this win. You have inverted cover 2 at the top of the board. Now, I'm questioning why, though, as we talk about this play, because usually cover 2 means 2 deep safeties, but I'm not seeing any safeties here, Ted. These are corners.
That's it, Phil, and that was a good job. The Patriots lined in what turns out to be cover 2, but they did it in an untraditional fashion, if you will. They had the cornerbacks that are normally up with the safeties back half field. They brought the corners back and put the safeties up to make a little bit of confusion for the quarterback right here. And they lined a lot of people up here on the line of scrimmage. Kyle Duggar, Jawan Bentley, Devin McCourty. They had them all kind of lined up here in the gaps, thinking that maybe they were going to blitz. They pull out of the blitz. They max protect on this side. They keep these 2 guys in the block, so they block it up nice. But the Patriots do a really good job playing cover 2. But without these corners that are typically up playing curl flat, they have them playing half-field safety, which is a really, really nice little wrinkle they did on defense. So here's what the play is. So on this side, you just have the running back that's staying in the block. The running back stays in the block here. This wide receiver comes out and just does a curl route. It's taken with these 2 guys. We don't want to focus on this. We want to look over here on this side. At the snap of the ball, what you have Tyreek Hill coming up and doing a deep curl route. You are taught, if you are middle of the field defender, Kyle Duggar, who's up here sugaring like he's going to blitz, Jawan Bentley like they're going to blitz, they pull out of it, and here's the key. It's cover 2, inverted cover 2, all right? And instead of safeties playing half the field, you have cornerbacks playing half the field, and the safeties playing curl to flat, which is what typically the corners are playing. And then Kyle Duggar, middle of the field defender. They call it Tampa 2 when you have the Mike linebacker. This is the position I used to play. I played. And except it's Kyle Duggar here, a much faster, more athletic guy, because what does he got to do? He has got to get on his horse. He's got the middle of the field. The weakness in cover 2, Phil, is always middle of the field, and that's where teams are trying to attack it. So they're trying to attack it by having this number 2 wide receiver here run a deep in cut like this. But Kyle Duggar does a great job of going to the strong side. This is a 3 wide receiver side. That's where he's going to open up to. And as he gets to this point, about 15 yards middle of the field, look for crossers coming from both sides. And this crosser comes from this side. And as he's dropping, he's looking back, he's turning to a spot, he's looking back, and as the quarterback delivers a ball, he breaks on it, makes a hell of a play right here, plucks it out of thin air, runs it all the way home. It's a really good job by the Patriots disguising, not really showing exactly what they're going to do. If you're the quarterback, Phil, before this snap, you really have no idea if they're man-to-man, and if they're in zone, what zone is it? You don't know because they do something that is atypical for most teams.
You got so many versatile defensive backs between all the corners that can play different spots, the safeties that can play different spots as well, and Kyle Duggar making a play as is he a blitzer? No, he's a dropping middle linebacker, right. And he looks like a corner picking off a pass, taking it back to the house. He looks like a tight end throwing a stiff arm at the end of the day. Phenomenal play in a big moment for Kyle Duggar and this Patriots defense. In addition to putting points on the board, the Patriots defense did a good job keeping the Dolphins' dynamic duo of wide receivers off the scoreboard. These numbers are presented by your local New England Ford dealers and Ford trucks, built Ford tough. Tyreek Hill did score on a 2-yard run, but Hill and Jalen Waddle were both held to under 60 yards through the air. Bill Belichick offered a little insight on how the Patriots schemed it up on Sunday.
Played a lot of 3 safety calls and some 4 safety calls where they're all on the field together. Tried to jam the receivers. I thought overall we did a decent job of that and didn't give up a lot of explosive plays, which, they've had a lot of them, probably as many as anybody in the league overall. A lot of balls went to the backs and on checkdowns and things like that. And those guys, were hard to tackle, but at least we were able to keep the game, under control that way. I think it's better than 60-yard touchdowns. So, thought our secondary did a good job.
It's time now for my report card. My report card is presented by the Massachusetts School of Law. We're going to agree with the coach there and give an A- to the Patriots secondary. A great effort despite missing Jalen Mills, Jack Jones, and Marcus Jones in this one. We're handing out an A to the defensive line, partially because of their effort in shutting down the run. The Dolphins' run game had just 3.2 yards per carry. Just a continuation of what that group has been able to do against the run this season, which brings us to Ted Neek, presented by Shaw's, perfecting the art of fresh. Ted, they were able to slow down that Dolphins passing game. Yes, having a backup quarterback and then a third-string quarterback in helps, but they were able to slow down the passing game, I know you believe, in part because they were so effective against the run.
Yeah, and so what do I mean? If you stop the run, you can stop the passing game, and it harkens back to when I used to play for the Patriots, and we play. You play against Peyton Manning. You go up against a Peyton Manning. I always said if you can stop Edgerrin James, you can stop Peyton Manning. What do I mean? We would play 7 guys in the box. If you have 7 guys in the box, that means you have 2 safeties deep. 7 guys in the box, 2 safeties deep. You can play cover 2. Cover 2. You want a cover 2. You want 2 safety shell. So when you play explosive offenses, but you have to stop the run with 7 guys in the box. If you have to bring a safety down, now you have 8 guys in the box. Now the quarterback can go to work on the edges. So it's very important. If you want to stop high-powered offenses that have some kind of a running game, you better do it with just 7 guys in the box so you can always play with 2 safety shell. That's what the Patriots did an excellent job of in this game, and that's partly the reason they had success against the pass.
I know you were impressed by Jabril Peppers and the work he was able to do. He obviously is a strong safety, but they would have him in linebacker roles at times as well, and he really is just such a powerful hitter for a guy his size. Yeah,
so he did a great job. There was one play early in the third quarter, it was a first down play, and he was playing safety. All right, and Phil, what he just did, he comes down for run support. So the Patriots did a great job stopping the run in with cover 2 looks. But then when safeties did come down, like Jabril Peppers did on this one play, they were very effective tackles. Jabril Peppers, second on the team in tackles in this game. Guys like him, Adrian Phillips, are really good tacklers in the open field. And on this play, Jabril Peppers does a great job. He's going to disguise pre-snap as half the field safety, okay? Teddy Bridgewater, he's in his cadence and he's going, Phil, you're going to be the wide receiver out here. You are the wide receiver. You're supposed to block me on this run play. Teddy checks into a run play because he thinks it's cover 2. Once he gets into his cadence, you start seeing Jabril Peppers start creeping down. Teddy doesn't see him. He snaps the ball. And what does Jabril Peppers do? He reads the run right to him. He comes in. He blows up the guy that's supposed to block him. And then he makes the tackle for a no-yard gain. Great disguise pre-snap, coming down late after the quarterback already gets in his cadence and checks to a run play. He doesn't check out of it. He comes down and blows it up. And the safeties for the Patriots, we knew was a strength going into the season. They're really playing at a high level right now. And Jabril Peppers, I tipped the cap to him. He had a good game.
Peppers almost looking like a linebacker there. So you're saying he's throwing a flipper around down near the line of scrimmage to get freed up to make those
and
kinds
blown
of plays.
up. I mean, you come in hell-bent for leather, and these safeties and linebackers are really playing downhill, Phil.
We're always hell-bent for leather here on The Breakdown, especially when Ted wears his dancing shoes. We are hell-bent for leather for sure. We have much more coming up on The Breakdown. But after The Breakdown tonight, 6:30, you're going to want to tune in for our Bella Early Edition with Trenny. Trenny Casey has much more on this Patriots win over the Dolphins from Sunday. Up next, turn into the other side of the ball, and the Patriots suddenly finding some success in the red zone. How do they do it? We'll explain when The Breakdown returns.
I didn't play as good as I want to in the middle of the game, and I thought our guys just kept fighting, and we made some big plays and some big moments, and that's what the NFL is all about. So I've been working on that play for quite some time here, and finally got to do it in the game. So just a heads-up play, and sometimes with the shifts and motions, that's what happens on defense. It's just hard to communicate and all that, but definitely made a great catch. Those are sometimes the hardest because you see a guy running out looking at you. You don't want to put it on a line so that he can intercept it. So definitely made a great play, and it was a good situational play.
Good situational play there from the Patriots to score their second red zone touchdown of the day, using shifts, using motions. We're going to get into that in just 1 second. But Ted, on that particular touchdown, so fourth quarter, Jacoby Myers jumping up and down, trying to get his quarterback's attention. They hiked that thing really quickly. David Andrews, the center, told us after the game that was not what the play was called for in the huddle. So that was just two guys seeing a situation that was maybe in part created by that motion. What did you like most about that play?
Well, what I liked about that play is that it's putting stress on the defense. I mean, shifting out like that. When you're down on the goal line like that, whenever teams just sprint out real quick and shift, it's very difficult for man-to-man teams. Everybody likes to play man-to-man down there to find your coverage. Oh, my God, where's my guy? Where's my guy? And the Patriots had a unique personnel grouping out there as well. So it took Miami a second to find their coverage. They were a little late to it. And Mac, good job, was able to get that ball snapped and throw it out there to Jacoby, who made the play. So heads-up play by the Patriots.
And created by a difficult situation that you put them in.
That's
Usually
right.
It's the Patriots, it feels like this year, who are in difficult situations in the red zone. That Jakobi Meyers touchdown came on the Patriots' second trip inside the 20 Sunday. The Patriots have now converted on 3 of their 4 red zone trips over the last 2 weeks. So maybe the NFL's worst red zone offense is turning a corner, eh? For a closer look at their first red zone score on Sunday, let's head back to the drawing board. We're back out here for Board Games, brought to you by John Sewer Drain Cleaning, the name to know when the drains don't flow. Ted, the Patriots finding success on both of their trips inside the 20 on Sunday. We're going to take a look at their first touchdown here. Just the second time all season they've scored a touchdown on their opening drive of the game. You've got stress test written at the top of the board. Tell us why.
Yeah, Philip, what I thought the Patriots did on offense in particular, down inside the red zone, was stress the defense out. Make the defense communicate, and hopefully maybe that you get some miscommunication and someone screws up and you can maybe take advantage of it. And that's what the Patriots did. The Patriots early in the season were not doing a lot of shifts and motions, putting stress on these defenses and making them talk. But more and more lately, you're starting to see evidence of that, and it's starting to pay dividends. So on this play, you have trips to the right, okay? Trips to the right. Tyquan Thornton, who had his best game as a rookie, is the focal point on this play. He goes from a 3-by-1 to a 2-by-2. What that does is that triggers over here. You have Javon Holland right here, who has coverage over Jakobi Myers originally, but once he sees Tyquan Thornton go in motion, he tells the DB, you take my coverage on Jacoby, and I'll go with him because his alignment was better to get over the top. So already forcing the defense to communicate right here. They switch it off, no problem. The Dolphins are in cover 1. So it's your run-of-the-mill cover 1. 5 down linemen, they all rush. This safety has this running back right here, man-to-man, and then you have a middle-of-the-field safety. So now it comes down to over here. This is a 2-man game by the Patriots. The Patriots are really good at doing these 2-man games. So once he motions over here, and Javon Holland comes over in coverage, he sees Eric Rowe, old Patriot Eric Rowe, in coverage over Hunter Henry. He tells Eric Rowe, bump. He just wants Eric Rowe to know that when the play starts, you're going to have the first outside route, and Javon's going to take the first inside. Here's the problem. When you come over and tell him to bump, he gets a little bit nervous and scared. He doesn't quite know what the call is. And instead of bumping out and pushing like he's supposed to, he stays inside on his coverage. And at the snap of the ball, they're in stack position, which is a really good place to be right here versus man-to-man coverage, because you can really do some damage. So Hunter Henry, at the snap of the ball, Eric Rowe doesn't bump out. He stays on his coverage. And basically, Hunter Henry runs downfield and takes out two guys. And basically, you see Tyquan Thornton kind of drafting behind Hunter Henry, drafting behind him. Hunter Henry kind of takes these guys with him. And at the last second, he peels out. Boom, the ball's out before he even breaks. They catch the ball right there in the corner. Perfectly executed two-man game on the backside, stressing the defense, making them communicate, forcing them to maybe make an error. They did that, and the Patriots took advantage of it.
It's so fine. You have to be so fine down inside the red zone where everything is condensed. You have to be on top of your details for the Patriots to find a way to force the defense to talk a little bit and get a little bit of space opened up on the offensive end. Ended up paying huge dividends for the Patriots. As former Patriot Eric Rowe getting victimized there, even though the Patriots finally showed some signs of life in the red zone, the offense was mostly dead on arrival in between the two touchdown drives. The Patriots had 7 possessions between touchdowns yesterday and combined to score just 3 points, and they had more punts than first downs. That brings us to Ted Neek. Ted Neek is presented by Shaw's, of course, perfecting the art of fresh. And we're going to talk about a play here. This was a sack on third down. It was 3rd and 1, and it was a play fake to Ramondre Stevenson, Ted, that seemed to do in the Patriots against a Dolphins blitz call.
Yeah, exactly. So the Dolphins like to bring a lot of pressure. And if you're going to play a guy like Mac Jones, who's more of a statue, more of a guy that's going to stay, probably stay right 5 yards behind the center, you're going to want to pump pressure up the A-gaps. And Landon Roberts, the old linebacker for the Patriots, plays middle linebacker for the Dolphins. He was doing a good job of blitzing the A-gap all day long. The Patriots had some fits with it. On this play in particular, I'm going to show you. I'm a Landon Roberts for the Miami Dolphins.
We got Tom Giles here. Welcome, Tom Giles.
Hey, Tommy.
He's going to be Mac Jones, and I'll be Ramondre Stevenson.
That's correct, all right? So Ramondre Stevenson, who's playing a lot of third down, he's basically the third down back, which is a different type of offense typically than first and second down. And this is some of the concerns with having a young guy playing third down back is maybe missing some of the blitz pickup. So this is what happens on this play. He's got the blitzer, the off-the-line blitzer, which is a Landon Roberts. He's supposed to do the play fake and then block me. This is what happens on the play, though. All right, so go ahead, Giles. Here we go. Set, hike. And Landon Roberts comes through here. They play out the play fake, and I go right on by him and sack Mac Jones. And Landon Roberts doesn't get over here in time to pick up his blitzer. So what should he have done? All right, next time, Ramondre, he's going to watch the film, and what they're going to say is, on the play fake, here we go, set, hike. Instead of doing the play fake, just get over there and take that guy. Don't even play out the play fake. Screw the play fake. Make sure you get to this blitzer because that is your responsibility. So don't worry about play fake at that point. I didn't like the call in that situation. A play action on 3rd and 1 like that with a team that likes to blitz. They did that, but that's some of the growing pains you have. As good as Ramondre Stevenson as a runner, he's got getting a little bit better in that third down package in blitz pickup.
You mentioned it's a tough situation to have the blitzer coming through
the
one
opposite
side on the A gap when your fake is taking you to the other side. But those are just maybe the little details that this offense at times in critical spots, again, that's a third down in critical spots, has been lacking. Maybe something they can try to tweak going into Week 18. Giles, thank you very much.
Tom.
Ted Johnson, great job as always, and I was able to make it through healthy for another week. Only one more week of these, maybe more. Who knows? But I'm still intact. Tuesday, 6 o'clock, catch another edition of Quick Slants. Tommy Karn will be joined by the great Kay Adams. It's presented by your local New England Honda dealers. Up next, we're talking about playoffs. You bet we are. The postseason starts a week early for the Patriots. How can they pull off the upset in Buffalo? That's next on The Breakdown.
If you've ever had the chance to play this game, you know it's the game of life, right? You're going to get knocked down. You're going to get picked back up. You're going to have some ups, some downs. And you just have to keep fighting. You got to keep pushing, and it's the greatest game on the earth, and it teaches you a lot about yourself and your teammates, and I think we showed a lot of fight, and obviously got a big challenge this weekend, and playing 1 week seasons right now. That's what it is. So huge challenge coming up for us this week, but proud of the locker room, proud of everyone rebounding this week and coming to work.
All right, it's time for the Monday Night Spotlight. Monday Night Spotlight is presented by the Oakers Company, proud sponsor of the New England Patriots. It's now do or die for New England. If they beat the Bills on Sunday, they are into the postseason for the 13th time in the last 14 years. If they lose, they need a whole lot of help. So to keep control of their own destiny, all the Pats have to do is beat a Bills team that has absolutely owned them since TB12 took his talents to Tampa. You heard David Andrews right there, Ted. It was an emotional locker room yesterday. It's a locker room that understands that it's a flawed team, but they're proud of the resiliency they've shown, especially late in the year here with some of the tough losses that they've had to endure. But how do they keep it close in Buffalo on Sunday?
You know how they keep it close? They got to go out there. That defense, all right? This defense that has been carrying them for most of the season, they got to go out there and they got to force the issue. The last time they played Buffalo went down the field the first 3 drives, touchdown, field goal. The Patriots did better after that. They got to come out and force the issue. I think in blitzing, create havoc. Don't sit back and let them dink and dunk. Force the issue, maybe make Josh turn the ball over early in the game. And if you're going to have a halftime lead, you might have a chance, Phil.
Instead, if you get your hands on the football, if you're a defensive player, you got to get into the end zone, right?
That's it. You can do that. You can win this game if those things happen, Phil.
You heard it here. Talking more about Patriots Bills coming up next on Early Edition. We'll see you there.